Welcome to Global Sky Update. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. I bet you didn't know just how close the world came to disaster in the South China Sea. The air is thick with salt and tension, as if the ocean itself is holding its breath. Every sound is amplified. The distant call of seabirds, the gentle slap of waves against steel hulls, the low hum of engines idling in anticipation. Just after dawn, December 8, 2025, light creeps across the South China Sea, painting the water in hues of gold and blue. The world awakens, but here, the day begins with unease. The BRP Sierra Madre, a rusting Philippine supply vessel, sits grounded on Second Thomas Shoal. Once a warship, now a battered outpost, it stands as a stubborn symbol of resistance, its corroded hull a testament to years of tension. On the horizon, a Chinese Coast Guard cutter approaches, immense and imposing, its white hull gleaming in the morning sun. It moves with purpose, a silent challenge carried on the waves. Its horn blares, a warning, not a greeting. The sound echoes across the water, a signal that this encounter will not be routine. The smaller Philippine patrol boat holds its ground, crew tense but resolute, their eyes scan the horizon, hands gripping rails and radios, every muscle ready for what may come. This is the front line of a global power struggle, where the ambitions of nations play out in real time, and every maneuver is watched by the world. The Chinese vessel executes aggressive maneuvers, cutting across the bow, churning the sea. Its intentions are clear: to intimidate, to dominate, to force a reaction. A dangerous maritime dance. One wrong move could spark disaster. The gap between ships narrows, the risk of collision ever present, nerves stretched to the breaking point. The radio crackles with warnings in Mandarin and English, voices sharp and threatening. Orders are barked, demands made, each side refusing to yield an inch. The Filipino sailors know they're outmatched, but these are their waters, and they won't back down. Their resolve is written on their faces, a quiet defiance in the face of overwhelming odds. Suddenly, a U.S. Navy P-8 Poseidon surveillance aircraft roars overhead, a clear sign: America is watching. Its presence is a reminder that the world's eyes are fixed on this remote patch of sea. The Chinese cutter's aggression softens, the dynamic shifts. For a moment, the threat of escalation recedes, replaced by a wary stalemate. This patch of ocean is now a chessboard for superpowers, each move calculated, every position fraught with meaning. The stakes are high, and the outcome uncertain. The Filipino crew breathes easier, but tension lingers. Relief is fleeting, they know this calm could shatter at any moment. For them, this is not a game, it's their reality. Every decision could mean the difference between peace and conflict, between homecoming and tragedy. Every minute they hold out is a victory, but the day is long, and the shadow of conflict looms. The sun climbs higher, casting long shadows over the deck, as uncertainty grows with each passing hour. The standoff continues, a silent battle of endurance. Neither side willing to retreat, both locked in a test of willpower and patience. Here, a small nation's fight, a rising power's ambition, and a distant superpower's presence collide. The world watches, holding its breath, as the fate of this contested sea hangs in the balance. North of the tense maritime standoff lies the Reed Bank, also known as Recto Bank, a vital lifeline for the Philippines, both economically and strategically. This stretch of sea, shimmering under the sun, holds more than just water. It holds the promise of a brighter future for millions of Filipinos. Experts believe Reed Bank contains vast, untapped reserves of oil and natural gas, resources so abundant they could completely transform the nation's energy landscape. If harnessed, these reserves could power homes, fuel industries, and drive the country's growth for generations to come.
For a country that currently imports nearly all its fuel, Reed Bank represents the hope of true energy independence. Imagine a future where the Philippines no longer relies on volatile global markets, but instead stands strong on its own resources.
The Malampaya gas field, once the backbone of the nation's energy supply, is now running dry. As its output dwindles, the need for a new source becomes urgent. Reed Bank is the logical successor, a beacon of hope just within reach. Yet, every attempt to explore or develop these resources is met with resistance. Chinese ships block access, creating a tense and dangerous standoff in these contested waters.
China's constant and intimidating presence has put our energy future on indefinite hold. Filipino fishermen and workers watch as foreign vessels dominate waters that should be ours.
Without new domestic energy sources, the Philippines faces rising fuel costs, economic uncertainty, and greater vulnerability to global price shocks. Ordinary Filipinos feel the impact every day, from the price at the pump to the cost of electricity at home. The dream of affordable, reliable energy remains just out of reach, deferred time and again by Chinese patrols and political deadlock.
Reed Bank stands as a symbol of both immense potential and profound injustice. It is a reminder of what could be and of what is being denied.
For the Philippines, this struggle is about more than just energy. It is about sovereignty, dignity, and the right of a nation to develop its own resources for the benefit of its people. The inability to access Reed Bank is seen by many as a direct assault on national pride and independence, a wound that cuts deep into the Filipino spirit.
We cannot simply walk away from this challenge. Our leaders, our communities, and our people are united in their resolve. This is a fight for our future, for the next generation, and for the promise of a better life for all Filipinos.
China's sweeping claim to the South China Sea is marked by the 9-dash line, enclosing nearly 90% of the waterway.
Beijing says this is based on historic rights, centuries of Chinese presence.
But this clashes with international law, specifically UNCLOS, which China signed. UNCLOS grants coastal states a 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone. Reed Bank is well within the Philippines' EEZ.
China's 9-dash line ignores this, fueling conflict. To enforce its claim, China has built artificial islands complete with military bases. Chinese vessels, including maritime militia, swarm disputed waters, harassing others.
China is creating new facts on the water.
For Beijing, control of the South China Sea is about security, power, and national destiny.
The 9-dash line is non-negotiable, a core interest for China.
In 2013, the Philippines took China to court at The Hague, challenging the 9-dash line under UNCLOS.
It was David versus Goliath, law against power.
China refused to participate, but the tribunal ruled in 2016, China's historic rights have no legal basis. The Reed Bank is within the Philippines' EEZ. China violated Philippine rights.
The ruling was clear and binding.
China dismissed it outright, accelerating its activities in the sea. The ruling gave the Philippines legal and moral support, but no enforcement. On the water, little changed. China's control only grew. The Philippines has the law, China has the ships. This gap between legal right and physical reality defines the conflict. The world's rules are only as strong as the will to enforce them.
The U.S. has deep interests in the South China Sea, ensuring freedom of navigation and upholding the rules-based order.
Trillions in trade pass through these waters. Any conflict would shake the world economy.
The U.S.-Philippines alliance is key. The Mutual Defense Treaty commits both to each other's defense.
Washington has clarified, an armed attack on Philippine forces in the South China Sea will trigger U.S. commitments.
This is America's red line. The U.S. Navy conducts regular freedom of navigation operations, directly challenging China's claims.
The U.S. has ramped up joint exercises, intelligence sharing, and military support for the Philippines.
These moves deter China and reassure allies, but America avoids direct conflict.
The U.S. empowers the Philippines to defend its rights, raising the cost for Beijing.
The U.S. isn't a claimant, but it's chosen aside international law.
The South China Sea is now a primary arena for U.S.-China competition. The stakes are global, the balance is delicate.
Reporting from a Philippine Coast Guard vessel, we've been shadowed for hours by a massive Chinese ship. The sense of being watched is constant. Every movement we make is tracked, every maneuver mirrored. The Chinese vessel looms in the distance, a silent but unmistakable presence. Its crew observing us through binoculars, cameras rolling as we document the unfolding standoff. The tension is palpable. Every move is mirrored by the Chinese. The air is thick with anticipation, as if at any moment, the situation could escalate. The crews on both sides are alert, eyes fixed on each other, waiting to see who will make the next move. The Filipino crew is professional, but the strain is visible. Long hours at sea, under constant surveillance, have left their mark. Fatigue etched on faces, nerves stretched thin. Yet their resolve is unwavering. They know the importance of their mission. This is their daily reality, treated as intruders in their own waters. Every patrol is a reminder of the contested nature of these seas, where sovereignty is challenged and danger is never far away.
In Washington, analysts call this gray zone warfare. China uses non-military vessels to coerce without open conflict. It's a strategy designed to blur the lines between peace and war, making it difficult for the international community to respond decisively. The US matches presence, making it a global chess match with real lives at stake. Warships and Coast Guard vessels from both sides maneuver in close quarters, each signaling resolve, each hoping to avoid a miscalculation that could spark a wider conflict. In Manila, defiance mixes with anxiety. People watch the news with a mix of pride and fear, knowing that what happens at sea could shape their nation's future. Fishermen are driven from traditional grounds by Chinese ships. Generations who have relied on these waters for their livelihood now find themselves pushed out, their boats dwarfed by foreign patrols. "That was our livelihood," one says, voice trembling with frustration and loss. The sea that once provided for their families now feels hostile and uncertain. Now they blast us with water cannons. The fishermen recount these encounters with a mix of anger and disbelief, describing how they are forced to flee for their safety. The government walks a tightrope, asserting sovereignty, hoping for US support, but knowing its limits. Every diplomatic move is carefully calculated, balancing national pride with the realities of power.
On a recent supply mission, the Chinese Coast Guard used lasers to blind crew and blocked ships dangerously close. The risk to safety was real, the message unmistakable. "You are not welcome here." It felt like aggression, not law enforcement. The intimidation was deliberate, designed to send a warning not just to us, but to anyone who might challenge their claims. We were unarmed civilians delivering food and water. Our mission was humanitarian, yet we faced tactics meant to instill fear and force us back. These first-hand accounts cut through diplomatic language. They reveal the reality behind official statements and press releases, showing the human cost of this standoff. They show this is not a peaceful dispute, it's intimidation in plain sight. The world is watching. The stakes are real, and the outcome will shape the future of the region for years to come.
The South China Sea is a powder keg. The risk of miscalculation is dangerously high. With so many ships in close quarters, an accident could spiral into conflict. A collision or attack could trigger rapid escalation between major powers. Communication protocols are fragile. US involvement raises the stakes. China may see increased US presence as provocation, tempting a sharp conflict to assert dominance.
If China attacks a Philippine vessel, the US faces a fateful choice.
Defending the Philippines could mean war with nuclear-armed China. Failing to act would shatter U.S. credibility.
Economic escalation is also possible. Sanctions, trade wars, and resource blockades could follow. The battle for resources could spill into global finance and trade. Scenarios range from a tense stalemate to a sudden crisis forcing US-China confrontation. The path forward is a tightrope over a chasm of conflict. Every move is fraught with risk. The world holds its breath. The future of the South China Sea depends on choices in Manila, Beijing, and Washington.
The Philippines will rally global support, publicize Chinese aggression, and refuse to cede its rights.
China may continue gray zone tactics, but risks diplomatic isolation, or it could offer joint development, demanding Manila set aside the Hague ruling.
The U.S. will keep up patrols, joint exercises, and security aid, building Philippine capacity for self-defense.
The most optimistic scenario is a return to diplomacy and respect for international law. That would require Beijing to accept UNCLOS and negotiate as equals. Until then, expect more standoffs and close calls. The test of wills continues. The world can only hope for restraint. The stakes are high. The future is uncertain. The drama is far from over. Cool heads must prevail. This is more than a dispute over shoals and oil. It's about the future of global order.
If powerful nations can ignore law and seize resources, the entire system is at risk. Smaller nations everywhere are watching. The precedent set here matters. If the Philippines, with legal victory and US backing, can't defend its rights, what hope for others?
The US commitment is a signal to all its allies. Its credibility is on the line. If America falters, global instability will rise. The fate of the South China Sea matters to everyone. Freedom of navigation, peaceful dispute resolution, and a rules-based order benefit all. The drama here is the front line of our era's defining struggle. The world is watching. In the ripples of the South China Sea, we see the shape of the future.